Is of what impact is this going to have on the polls as people go to the polls? Speaking about the security issues, the delay 6 weeks, and how it has affected people's desire to go to the polls.
The reality is, if Nigerians were to judge them on their past performances, many Nigerians will trust their security, trust Buhari with their security much more than they would trust President Jonathan. President Jonathan has not done well security-wise. If he had done well, maybe the Chibok girls would not have been kidnapped. Maybe his response to the kidnap of the Chibok girls will have been better. Maybe he will have visited the Northeast at the thick of the insurgency and not just when campaigns were around the corner. Because many people felt that by not visiting those people, visiting the Northeast, that he didn't show leadership. In fact, the case of the children who were slaughtered in Buniyadi, 59 boarding students who were slaughtered in Buniyadi by Boko Haram, the president didn't visit the state, and he didn't even send a senior official to go and commiserate with their family. So when you imagine how the world responded, to the killings in France, just a few people, then you ask yourself why our own president handled the killing of those kids in that manner. So naturally, in the Northeast, the president cannot expect, even though we are reclaiming those territories and if APC is even beginning to campaign in some of the occupied, the liberated towns, naturally the president is not expected to do well in those places because a lot of people still hold it against him that he didn't take their security seriously. He didn't visit them. In fact, there are many people who accuse the president of sponsoring Boko Haram. Of course, this is a senseless idea, but somehow it has stuck. When you talk to some Northerners, they do not believe that the president is not the sponsor of Boko Haram. It will take a mighty effort to even convince them. That was why when they went to Adamawa State, he swore against, he was raining curses against those who said he's the sponsor of Boko Haram. It's a very ridiculous idea. If the Chadians felt that the Nigerian president was behind Boko Haram, I don't think they would have sent their troops to come and die for a problem created by, supposedly, by a Nigerian leader. So it just shows to you how bad people think of his handling, how people think he has, how his bad handling of the insurgency has impacted on the people. If the people feel that, oh, you've not actually protected us, they have every reason, in their view, to think that you are actually kind of by your actions allowing the insurgency to fester. So,
all right, I have to cut in here because we need to quickly take a break and we'll be back. Stay with us.
Incumbent Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan will square up with main opposition party candidate Muhammadu Buhari in an election to determine who rules the country in the next 4 years. Would it be Jonathan or Buhari? Watch TVC News as we follow both candidates' campaign trolls in the lead up to the elections.
TVC News Nigeria. First, accurate, reliable. TVC News Nigeria. First, accurate, reliable.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have in the studio our guest, and we've been looking at the strengths, weakness, and we've been analyzing that SWOT analysis of the two major candidates, that's Muhammadu Buhari and the person of Goodluck Jonathan as well. Now, we've looked at the issue of insecurity. Let's go to the issue of infrastructure, Jide, who do you think the people would trust when it comes to infrastructure development?
Well, one thing about General Buhari is the quality of the people around him. If you travel to some of the APC states, you understand what I mean. In terms of infrastructure, they've done very well. If you are very familiar with Ibadan, maybe 5 years ago, you go to Ibadan now, in terms of the cleanliness of Ibadan, in terms of the quality of the roads there, you will know that there's a governor who is there who is in Oyo State now, who has done so well. And it's the same story in all of the APC states that I know. It's the same story. So now, and you have someone like Fashola, the governor of Lagos, the outgoing governor of Lagos, someone who could be used for bigger responsibilities. So when you look at some of the people around him, the likes of Fayemi, you are tempted to think that, wow, if we have these people to work at the national level, they will make a big difference. It is the reason why it has been easy to sell Buhari to a lot of the people down south. Buhari has never been popular around here. He has never won election in this part of the country, not even the council area, you know. But the reality is, the people that he has around him is what gives people hope. People would believe that with a Fashola, for example, as works minister, our roads will get better, you know. With maybe Fayemi as maybe Minister of National Planning, because this is somebody who is very well put together, very well organized. You will expect that these people will make a lot of things happen. And don't forget, there is even his deputy, Osinbajo. Look at the kind of work he did in Lagos. You will expect that there will be a lot of rejigging of the very corrupt judiciary that we have now. Osinbajo was able to do a lot of cleaning up the judiciary in Lagos State, you know, having corrupt judges fired and all that. So people expect to see that at the national level. So when you see those people, you expect that even beyond the infrastructure, that Buhari has the people that he needs to really make the difference. But when for President Jonathan, we know what they can do already. I mean, his hates. We know what they can do already. Sometimes I tell myself that, look, nobody needs the kind of hates that this man has. Hates that will go and embarrass you and claim that you spoke with the King of Morocco when no such thing happened. Hates that embarrass you rather than make you even diminish you, rather than make you stronger as a candidate, as a president of the country. So that is really the issue. The people around Buhari are the people who naturally will make many Nigerians to think, wow, what if we have them at the federal level? So that is, it's a very straightforward decision for a lot of people to make with the kind of people, very organized people that General Muhammadu Buhari has around him.
How straightforward do you think this will be? Like, that people would believe that, okay, the APC or Buhari will be able to, I can trust him infrastructurally to come in?
You know, it's very straightforward. I agree with Jide in Toto. Because I drove from Lagos to Iwo last week. You know, if you drive from Lagos to Ibadan, and you have conscience, you won't vote for Jonathan. I'm saying it on air. If you drive from Lagos to Ibadan, on that road, you won't vote for Jonathan. So, taking it from there, if you are coming from abroad, at the Lagos airport, the busiest airport of West Africa, that road from Lagos airport to Oshodi, look at that road. That is the federal government road. So in terms of infrastructure, if you look at its record, in the past five years, it has not been impressive. You know, it has not been impressive. Then, and why people are worried is that we cannot trust this man with the way he's managing our resources. It's as simple as that. Look at what he has done. Look at the refineries. They're not working. Look at the roads all over Nigeria. Look at the roads. Look at the infrastructure. They now say they have a rail that is now working. Where is the rail? A common Ethiopia launched a rail system about 3 months ago. Fantastic, first class. Ethiopia, that has nothing. So I think the man has failed woefully. So, and as Jide said, you see, your best level, which shows what you can do. The man has leadership ability with the people around him, and I can trust him. And you see, the main problem that this man has, and the deficit, is trust. People no longer trust him. When they gave him power, when they gave him mandate 4 years ago, the first thing he did, any year present, was to increase fuel price. So that trust was lost. And I don't think till now it has been recovered. Absolutely. And that was very decisive on Saturday.
Now, Majid, are you also of the same view that people wouldn't trust Jonathan enough to want to give their vote to him, or they trust Buhari enough to say, okay, we want to give you a chance?
Why would I expect any Nigerian to trust the Jonathan presidency? Taking it from where Abib and Jide dropped it, I mean, take a look at our refinery. We're supposed to be doing turnaround maintenance every 2 years. Now, the last turnaround that was done, I learned, was in 2008. Between 2008 and now, the problem has piled up to the extent that we now need about $550 million. We're talking about 100 billion naira to do turnaround. All the 4 refineries are down. We have 3 that were built by both during the Obasanjo and the Buhari regime, and the one built by the colonial masters, and so we have about 4. Now, if we have our refineries functioning well, probably today we'll be paying like 40 naira or 50 naira per liter. On my way to this studio, I could see fuel queues. Everywhere. You see, the marketers are now doing, we are like at their mercy. They are doing hide and seek because the federal government is owing them about $450 million. I mean, 480 billion naira in arrears of subsidy, out of which it struggled to pay about 100 3 weeks ago, and that one has run out. On a daily basis now, we spend about 1 billion naira subsidizing fuel needlessly. Whereas if we have our own refineries here functioning, Dangote is an individual. He's building a 650,000 barrels per day refinery, which he said will be ready by 2017. So if you just look at the issue of petroleum alone, I mean, refining and distribution, it's enough because this thing touches everybody. And it goes to issue of electricity. Under this administration, which, I mean, Jonathan has been part of since from day one, we have spent close to $35 billion. And we have never been able to exceed 4,000 megawatts of electricity.
And then it was privatized. Now, after privatizing, the government is spending another $9 billion, so to say, to go and buy meter. For who? I mean, you see, there are some things, like Abib said, some things you just wonder, why are you in this kind of country? After privatizing, and just about 3 months before the election, they said they will be buying stoves for about 9 billion too. I don't think I've seen a single stove. Money has been appropriated for it. And I think people should ask questions. And these are the kind of things, these are the kind of questions Nigerians should be asking, not the person that will give them 10,000 naira to buy their PVC and on the day of election. So if we talk in terms of the level of infrastructural development, I don't want to go to roads or railway or airport. We have a caller online, Amos from Kogi State. Amos, are you there? You can go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to greet all the And they are really trying and doing a great job. What I just want to say is this election is beyond what we are saying on air. I see that it is only God that can pick the right person for us. So just remaining some few hours to the election, I want us to pray. The Buhari that everybody is clamoring for, shouting for, we've been doing all this in the time past, and they will come up and still tell us. I'm just addressing or speaking to you Nigerians. Let's just pray to God to give us the right leader. Yes, when they say Jonathan has failed, but I still have that trust and believe that he can still do better than what he's just done. So our past leaders, some of them, their first tenure, they will do well. But when they come the second tenure, they will just mess up the whole thing. But he has messed up the first tenure, and I believe that he has good agenda for Nigeria. So I want us to trust him. Just believe him. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us in the program. Now, let's look at the strengths and weaknesses of this candidate at the local government and state levels. What's your view on this, Judy? How do you see it playing out?
Well, I think naturally the candidates are expected to do well in certain geopolitical zones. In the South-South, for example, you expect the president to do very well in the South-South. APC has made some gains in the South-South, even in Bayelsa State. But it is expected that President Jonathan will carry the day in the South-South. Of course, the votes from the South-South are nothing compared to what you have even in the Southwest. The votes are quite low, you know, from that part of the country. You can't compare the number of eligible voters in the South-South with what you have in the Northwest, for example. In fact, it's like a drop in the ocean. The difference is like night and day. Now, but we expect him to win the South-South. Then in the Southeast, we also expect President Jonathan to win in the Southeast. Naturally, the Southeast is his strongest geopolitical zone. He's even expected to do better in the Southeast than in the South-South, because the Igbos generally have taken to him. And many of them say that yes, they are benefited, you know, from his regime. No, not in terms of the people-oriented projects,
quality of life,
or improvement in quality of life, but naturally, President Jonathan has given political appointments to a lot of people from that part of the country. So they are seeing him more like their brother. So they expect him to do well in the South-South. In the Southwest, before this election, we've always said that the Southwest is the beautiful bride. The feeling that the minders of President Jonathan have is that the Southwest is actually the strength behind the Buhari presidency. So they've done so much to try and whittle down on its influence in this part of the country. And then when you look at the voting population in Lagos and Oyo State, is quite huge, even though in Oyo, because the PVC collection has not really gone as planned, is still a significant. There's still a significant voting population in Oyo State. So Lagos is the main battleground, and that's why the president has spent a lot of time here. And Lagos is, you know, he started his campaign even from Lagos here, you know, and Lagos is where the most powerful people. I would say 2 of the 3 most important members of the APC are from Lagos. And when I say currently now, the 3 most important members of the APC, I'm referring to Buhari, his deputy, and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because Asiwaju who has put this coalition together to deliver a very formidable candidate for the APC. So this is where they are. Oshibajo is going to vote here in Lagos. He's resident here. Asiwaju is resident here. So that's why the president believes that he must do everything possible to slow these people down, to reduce their capacity to do damage. The capacity of the Asiwajus of this world to do damage in Lagos. So naturally, he will think that he can get up to, I mean, maybe 30% or more, you know, but this time around, he will not be able to win in Lagos.
We have a caller on the line, Tunde from Ogun State. Tunde, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. And I pray that may the Lord bless you and bless Nigeria.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
What we are witnessing in Nigeria as of now, it is that of changes. And we all know very well that this man has been there, the president, for the past 6 years, and nothing to show. And this is General Buhari. When you can look down, you can look back at what he has done when he was in the military. He has done a lot of things in Nigeria. Now we are all matured enough, and we want people to know that we want changes. And that changes must be done. And there is no way we can be looking to the president and vandalize Nigeria.
All right,
so that is why we want that changes.
Tunde, thank you for calling in. We want change. Mojid, you were trying to analyze earlier what the statistics would look like before we cut you to say we'll analyze this later or now. Go ahead.
Yeah, to corroborate what Jide has just said, I think the figures are skewed in favor of the northern voters. And we might be at their mercy in terms of where the pendulum will swing, as in the votes from the north might be the deciding factor in this election. Yeah. Why do I say so? We've had about 56.6 million people that has collected PVCs as at the last count from INEC. And out of these, 32 million is in the 19 states in the north, while we have 24 million or thereabouts in the 17 states in the south. And if you would also look at the distribution in the south, we have 3 geopolitical zones: the southeast, south-south, and the southwest.
All right, quickly, we are running out of time. I need to hear Aruna's thought on this.
I think Jide and Muhammadu said it all. It's the combination of the north and southwest make it very difficult for the president to win an election. And it will be a miracle, you know, for him, because in the southwest, which they said is the beautiful bride, and I agree with, you know, the president cannot win Lagos. He cannot win Ogun and Oyo.
He can't win Osun.
And he cannot Osun.
All right.
So I think based on what is on ground now, is
divine intervention.
All right, quickly, I need to get your final thoughts on the forthcoming polls that's coming up less than 48 hours. Jide, go ahead.
Yes, just as I said earlier, it's really, really tough. It's really, really tough. President Jonathan needs prayers to retain his job.
Mojid.
Buhari is the person to beat in this election. So
Nigerians should go out peacefully, cast their vote, and wait. Make sure the votes are counted before you go home. And make sure there will be peace and no violence.
Well, that's it on the program today. Many thanks for coming on the show, Abib Aruna and Mojid Jamiu, Babat Jide Otitoju. Many thanks. And that's it. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Veronica Onuchi. See you next time.